Ability Inside Disability podcast is aimed at having conversations on learning, intellectual, and developmental disabilities. These conversations are geared towards understanding these conditions like autism, dyslexia, Down syndrome, and support for persons with these conditions and their families. On this podcast, we do have guests that range from teachers, psychiatrists, neurologists, parents, and even persons with these conditions themselves. We would very much appreciate that you share these videos so your loved ones and others can benefit from the content in these conversations. We appreciate that you like them, and we'll also suggest that you subscribe so you can always receive notification whenever other videos on these conversations come.
Especially as it relates to boys, typically developing boys and boys with learning, intellectual, and developmental disabilities. So, what is play? How would play impact a child? Why is play necessary in the emotional, mental, and the overall growth of a boy child? With me on the studio today is Mr. Philip Dimka. He is a psychologist, a play therapist, a family therapist with huge experience, engaging with adults, children, adolescents. So you have someone who has this wide spectrum of experience, and I hope we all enjoy today's program. I hope we share it so our family members, our loved ones, and every other person that will benefit get access to this topic, to this episode. And I hope that we like and subscribe to the channel so that way we can continue to make these wonderful and very, very impactful videos for our benefit. So, Mr. Philip,
yes.
Thank you for coming to the podcast.
It's a delight.
And today we're talking play.
Yes.
So what is play?
That's perhaps one of the simplest things to think about, but when it comes to talking about play, it becomes sort of complex to even conceptualize. But when we talk about play, we are talking about any activity at all that gives you fun, that helps you feel excited, that helps you relax, helps you have fun, and any activity at all that helps rejuvenate and helps helps one to integrate with themselves, with the environment, and with others.
With themselves and the environment.
Absolutely, and with others. So
so
that's what play is. It's actually, any activity at all, but it has that component of fun, recreation, rest, relaxation, and rejuvenation. So that's what play is.
So is play just simply leisure, or is there more to play in terms of the impact it could have on the body, and especially we're talking about children now and boys in particular, because generally speaking, boys are seen as the gender that are extremely playful.
Yes.
But I want to contextualize it now to play as a tool, for growth. So even when it's being a tool for growth, should it always be something that is pleasurable, or could it be something else?
Yeah, so thank you for really asking, because that's a very important question.
Yes.
I think that over the years, the way we have conceptualized play
Yes.
or seen play as a people, as a culture,
Yes.
is that play is just leisure. That play is waste of time. That play is something you do when you're done doing other things.
Okay.
So for all play, there's the component of leisure, fun,
Yes.
and excitement,
Yes.
and rest, sort of rejuvenation in
Yes.
it. But beyond that, the scientific research over the years have shown that there's so much more to play than just leisure. Learning is taking place during play.
Okay.
Growth is taking place during play.
Okay.
Development is happening during play. So play goes beyond just leisure. A lot of changes at the neurodevelopmental level, the biological level, the physical level, the emotional level, the social level. A lot of changes and growth and development is happening when you play, especially for children, and in this case, as we're considering boys, even those with a developmental or learning disability.
Yes.
We now know that one of the primary things that stimulates development at the level that it should be for children and young people is play.
Can you give us concrete examples from your experience?
Yeah. So we now know from data and from scientific research that when you play, a lot is going on. There's only one activity in the face of the earth that stimulates the brain and the entire nervous system the way play does.
Really?
Because when you are playing, all your senses are being engaged, and different parts of your brain is being activated all at the same time. The prefrontal cortex of the brain, where learning takes place, where thinking, where decision making, where problem solving is being engaged, is being activated. That's the prefrontal cortex. The emotional part of your brain, the amygdala, the emotional part of your brain, the fight, flight, I would say the brain alarm system is being regulated.
Okay.
The hippocampus that deals with memory is being activated and encoded. So every part of the brain, from the sides that deal with all senses, all parts of the brain that deal with all senses, are being stimulated and calibrated. And for the brain, that's learning. Every time a positive, real life information is being stimulated in the brain keeps record of it, and the brain learns how the world works. So for children, when they are playing, they are not just having leisure, they are not just having fun, they are learning. Their whole brain is being stimulated and activated and worked in a positive way that helps the brain to make sense of the world as it is. So that's sort of like the magic that happens when we play.
So a young boy now who is of school age.
Yes.
In what ways, that is how, with this, with how far you've brought us now, in terms of helping us understand the inner workings of play on growth, both emotionally, mentally, physically, the overall development. So a young boy who is of school age, how would play, would play have to be intentional in terms of structured, or will it just be let him play? So, I mean, this type of play, these different types of play now, how would they impact the emotional development of that boy who's of school age, his mental development? How will these two kind of play, because I think they are different, right?
Yes. It could
these two kind of plays, how will they impact?
Yeah, so you could categorize play differently. Play could be structured. It could also be free play, what we term free play, where they have the opportunity to explore as it is. And both have their benefits. Each kind of play has its benefit for a school age child, for instance. And we use structured play because we want to achieve certain things. We want the child who is playing to achieve certain things. If it's structured, it means it's sort of organized, and we are directing the child to engage in certain play, and we are targeting certain specific thing to happen, whether at the cognitive level or the emotional level or the behavioral level, so that as they are carrying out each task, then they are learning in the process. And they are also is also structuring their behavior and how they are approaching. So, and the thing with play, I must say at this point, is that whatever a child is learning in play, they can transfer to life. Every skill that you learn in play is usually transferable to life. So for a school age child, whether they're engaging in structured play or free play, they are processing, they are problem solving, and they are learning in the process. A free play has its advantage because it allows the child, a school age child, to explore. It stimulates their creativity so that they are able to use the play environment the way they want. They are interpreting the environment the way they want, and they are interacting and engaging with the environment the way they want. So what that does is it allows the child to express themselves. For a school age child, the child is building a lot of emotion. The child is learning to deal with stress of transitioning from one level to the other. And parents miss out on that part. The adults think they are the only one that are stressed. We don't know that children are also stressed when they are engaging milestone. If the child is moving from one class to the other, from one development stage to the other, they are stressed in their bodies, in their emotions. So play allows the child to expend negative emotions. Absolutely. When a school age child is jumping, when they are throwing, when they are kicking, when they are running, it's an opportunity for their body to expend emotions, to release pent up and piled up emotions. It's an opportunity for their brain to be calibrated. They are developing their physical structure, their gross motor skills, their fine motor skills when they are carrying and picking things. And while they are doing that, they are learning to solve their own problems, especially when in free play they are playing with other children.
In free play?
Yeah. When they are engaging with other children, they are also learning to solve problems, to solve conflicts, because when they fight, as a parent, you don't just jump in to solve the conflict. You allow them. And give them a few minutes, you notice that they will sort it out. So a lot is going on for the school age child when they play, whether structured. The difference between structured and free is just structured is guided. You want to achieve something. And each kind of play the child is playing, they are learning something, whether at the cognitive, the behavioral, or the emotional level. But free play is more creative. It allows the child to engage with the environment, but it's also allowing them to, beyond that, solve some internal emotional problem, social problem. They are reflecting, they are expressing themselves, and as a result, they are more fit at whether at the physical level or the emotional level to engage with their tasks. But something important is also happening when school-age children play at the cognitive level. Because when children play, they are engaging their frontal lobe, the prefrontal cortex, like I mentioned earlier, where thinking, problem solving, it also connects to the ability to regulate emotions, to the ability to problem solve, to be creative. So that is also key for children when they are in school, because they need that part of their brain developed properly, so that they are able to read, they are able to learn, they are able to retain memory, they are able to connect the dots in different subjects. So, but the goal is beyond academics. So we want them to be able to transfer their skills to life, to their everyday life when they become adult. So these are some things that are going on for school-age children.
Okay, school-age children. Now we've talked about the children themselves now. How would a teacher now use play? What would be an example of how a teacher will be able to use play to help maybe a child who is going through, a boy child, who is going through and emotional disturbance, and is physically, throwing tantrums as a way of manifesting what is going on within him emotionally. So, how would a teacher in the class use play to, help the child, regulate themselves and be able to get, become at peace with themselves? I mean, relatively overcoming, because you cannot overcome it in just one sitting, but it can be worked on at least.
That's right. Now, at this point, I would like to mention that play is the language of children, and all adults, all teachers, parents need to realize it. A child must play. In fact, there's a child in all of us, even adults. So adults should play.
There's a child in all of us.
We become so serious with life, and we think that play is for children. Play is not just for children, but for now, I needed to say that play is the language of children. So if a teacher understands that play is the language of children, you would begin to think to say, what play techniques can I bring into the learning environment to transform my interaction with these children? If you introduce play in the classroom, you would get the attention of the child. There's no question about that, because that's the full-time job of a child. It's to play. Yeah. So, and in play, there are different techniques. Whether it could be arts, it could be music, it could be drawing. Okay, drawing is part of art already. Yes. It could be sand work or clay work. It could be singing. It could be dancing. It could be, so there are different techniques to play. So a teacher needs to understand that there are different techniques, to know what techniques to bring into the classroom to help a child who has emotional issues in the classroom. So you need to know the kind of child you're dealing with. You need to know what technique is appropriate to introduce. Now, there's this video that has been trending online. I don't remember where I saw it, but maybe Facebook, where this teacher stays in the front of the class and welcomes all of our students. And so in front of the class, she has this picture like a banner in front of the class that shows different ways to welcome the children into the class. So when a child comes, she says, "Hi James, how do you want me to welcome you today in the class?" And the child will point which one. Then they would demonstrate that with the teacher. So there's a high five, there's a dance, there's a handshake, different. So each child knows which one they want. So they select, and the teacher does that with them. Then they go into the class.
That's amazing.
That's an example of using play to regulate the child. One of those kids, and while that was happening, I was looking at the kids. Some of them are coming with different moods.
Because you're a therapist, of course.
Absolutely. So I'm looking at the whole thing. So some of those kids may have come from a home that was tense. They may have been, insulted by parents. They might have been
gotten into
spanked.
a fight.
They might have been emotional or angry. But the moment you come to the door, then you meet a teacher that says, "Hi James," or "Hi whoever, how do you want me to welcome you to class today?" And he shows them. Then they do a clap or a handshake or a dance with the teacher. You've already regulated the emotional. You've brought them from down up. A child may be tense, but you've regulated them. So that's a simple activity. So teachers can bring simple things they can do before they teach the content, in the middle of the content, and after the classroom. For instance, you may bring as simple as a feelings chart. First thing in the morning, each child comes to the board or to the, wherever, to a safe space to show you exactly how they are feeling. Then you do something for 1 minute to regulate them. So that's a simple play technique, but you can bring that into the class. I think the goal is to know what is going on with that child and what activity can I do with them to help regulate them. So that makes the whole lot of difference.
So the boy child. Is the boy child thoroughly misunderstood when it comes to emotions?
Well, I would say that society has allow me to use the word reconfigured pre-configured the boy child to be a certain way around with their emotions. We now raise boys from childhood to with a stoic mentality that they have to be men, they have to be hard, they have to be in check, they have to mask their emotion.
Have to mask their emotion.
They don't need to show emotion. In fact, I remember growing up then, if something happens to you and you come home crying, you'll be flogged. Why? Are you a girl? Why are you crying? You know, why are you doing, so why are you behaving like a girl? If you do something, they'll say, why are you behaving like a girl? I remember growing up, I used to love suwe. And it's only the girls that's one of the activities I love. And it's only the girls that do suwe. So sometimes I'll go and join them, and there's a way the boys will be looking at me. What's going on with that?
They're supposed to be playing football.
God, you are supposed to be playing football. What are they communicating? That, hey, you're being a girl.
Yeah.
So society and families and our culture has shaped boys in a certain way that has put boys in a straitjacket where boys have grown up to lock up their emotions. And today we have men going around who cannot be vulnerable, who cannot cry. I was training a group of men, and I asked them a simple question: when was the last time you cried? And all of them started laughing at me. I became like the foolish one. They said, cry for what? I said, so when was the last time your wife saw you cry? That what? They said, no, that shouldn't happen. That I cannot allow my children or my family see me crying. But by the time we were done with that class, you know, they had a change of perspective. I know it will take time for them to implement, but they saw reasons. So society has really done harm to the boy child when it comes to emotional vulnerability. Boys are really struggling. And I tell you, boys are struggling more than girls. Boys, global data is showing that boys are doing poorly in science, in maths, in reading, in writing, more than girls. Boys are getting into trouble more than girls. If you check the statistics across men today, more men are committing suicide, and more young men are committing suicide than girls. And more men are taking substances than girls. More men are in prison than girls. So that's just, you can go on and on with the statistics. It didn't begin when they were men. It began when they were boys. When they were told, oh, no, you don't need to cry. You don't need to show emotion. You don't need to be vulnerable. And so today, it's a lot on the boy child.
And play has a huge role to play in all of this?
Absolutely. In fact, one of the key ways, and I was reflecting both from personal experience and from, also practice, one of the key things that has kept boys who are struggling emotionally afloat is play. For most of us, we would have been long lost. The only avenue we got to process the adversity that we were living in as young children was play. We had the opportunity to roam about and play, and climb the rocks and climb the trees,
the free play,
go swimming, free play. So despite the fact that we're living in adversity, but when we play, we were processing. Emotionally, you were healing, you were releasing pent-up emotions, and when you come back, you can face tomorrow. Yeah. So for young men, one of the key things that we have seen that is helping boys cope is play, because when they have opportunity to engage in physical activity, they are in sports, they are running, they have the opportunity to engage in different sports, in dance, in different physical activities. It allows them to process what they are
those
going
emotional
through.
pent-up situations.
And the danger is more boys are the voices of more boys have been taken away, so they are struggling. Then they are forced to stay indoors, whether by choice or by parents who don't want to let them go out. By choice meaning boys are now hooked behind screen and social media. Boys are spending more time, in the secret, and is increasing negative behavior, deviant behavior. Why? Because if they don't get to express it, they will implode, they will internalize it, and it begins to harm them. Because, yes, or you have more boys who are forced because by overprotective parents to stay indoors and not engage with the outside world. So you see, they don't have the opportunity to express themselves and to release those emotions, or to find someone to even share or build other relationships that would engage. So play is really, really key when it comes to processing, internal, your internal world, to reflect, and also sort of find ways to cope. One of the things that boys learn when they play is how to cope with adversity, how to cope with their inner world, how to cope with what they're going through. So boys need to play. Boys need to play. Boys need to play.
So now, in a family of 5, that is father, mother, 3 boys.
Yeah.
3 boys. I want to get. I want us to get a little bit more concrete here.
Yeah.
Yeah. In a family of 5, a father, mother, 3 boys. One of the boys has they have dyslexia. The other one ADHD. The other one moderate to severe autism. So how would play help this family?
Wow,
and help the individual children as well.
Well, that's critical. So you have when you have a family with that setup, that's a lot. First of all,
that's a lot.
I must acknowledge that that's a lot.
And it happens. It's present.
It is.
It's a reality.
This is not
fiction.
Hypothetical. It is actually what's obtainable in the society today. And I think for that kind of family, the parents must be intentional. Because if the parents are not aware, then what's going on with the boys will begin to affect the family. And if care is not taken, it will make the family drift apart.
Yeah.
So play is central to such a family. First, I would say such a family would definitely need specific kinds of therapy for the boys, for the children. That is key, so that the children are getting specialized, individualized intervention. Play therapy is usually helpful for each of the boys to process the difficulty, of being in a state like that. Because most times the adults in the family, father, mother, they think that they're the ones suffering.
Yes.
Because they have children who need extra
care.
But I dare say that the parents are not the only ones struggling.
They're not.
The child is also struggling. So they need play helps them to cope with the challenge that they are facing. And play also help them learn a new way to live with that experience. Because for some developmental challenges, they may not go away completely.
Yes.
But one key thing that play does, and play therapy, is to help the child to learn new ways of living with that condition and coping with it, and also helping them change their perspective about that condition.
Okay.
So, yeah. So for a family like that, free play, for instance, would increase their positive emotions.
Okay, free play, just having fun.
Having fun.
As a family.
As a family.
And also individually.
We increase their positive emotion, because when you play, a lot of positive hormones are being secreted in the brain and the nervous system and the body. Okay. And especially when you're playing with someone else and a family member, I assure you, hormones like oxytocin are being released, strengthening the bond of the family, the love that there is. And of course, dopamine is being released, and other positive hormones that lead to proper well-being of the child. So play is critical for bonding, for increasing positive hormone, for building relationships, for fun and recreation for such a family. And then, of course, structured and also play therapy is also important to help target the specific conditions and help the children build the coping skills that are needed to help them advance. But for such a family to be important to include play in their daily lifestyle. Not as an afterthought, but as something we're intentionally doing because it brings so much value to us as a family.
As a family.
Yes.
So in this context now, and within our cultural space, what play will you recommend for this kind of family?
All right.
I mean, yes, because what are those things that are available that they can have access to as a means with which, as a tool with which they can start the process of play?
All right. So, so you talked about cultural context, and culture is important for play. And I'm beginning to think, what are the common plays that are available to us? I think that's very simple play that brings family together. As simple as, I've seen families play Simon Says, for instance.
Okay,
Even though
Simon
it's sort of foreign, but we've contextualized it. Where each person in family takes turn to ask family members. The Simon Says this, and they do. So you find children make their parents do silly things, and everybody laughs because, he's the father, but right now he has to do something because I asked him to do so. So it changes the dynamics in the family. It gives power to the children. Everybody feels like, I'm in charge, I'm in control, and then we're all having fun. So as we're doing that, we're bonding, we're laughing, but that's also creating a lot of positive energy in the family. So that's one example that I can recommend. Another, so there are different kinds of play. There are board games, there are card games, there are physical games, that involves initiative. So, but there's also, so you could do that. There's a local game we play, Dara, right?
Okay.
We call it Dara, or there's the other name for it that comes with all of those. I think maybe about 8 different pouches.
Yes, that has stones in them. That
you carry, you keep moving.
Yes.
So it's an interesting play that you could play in a family. Multiple players coming together, to play over that.
I know that game.
There's Ludo that is very common. You could play, as a team. But I know that there are snake and ladder, for instance. It's simple, but it's fun. Where you're going higher, but if you land somewhere, you come back.
Yes.
When you play snake and ladders in a family, it creates an interesting dynamics in the family. I think one other thing that families like that can do is karaoke. I know it's
okay, singing and dancing.
Yeah, so you could play a song at home and then have different people, lead the song. So you clear the sitting room, create space. Set a stage and ask the dad can begin, or the mom.
Then the mother will carry on.
And then it's fun. So you have a common song that everybody loves in the family, or everybody could choose their song they present. So the song is playing on the background, you're miming,
with the song, you're acting with the song.
It's fun. These are things that create, and these are some things I like to do at home too with everyone. So it's really fun. Before you know it, it changes the dynamics and the relationship in the family. Those things that seem to be serious and painful become, less painful. They become fun, and it builds the social relationship in the family. And each family begin to see themselves as one, and we begin to learn to support our families in unique ways. So those are some examples, and there are more. There's so much more that families can do together. Gardening together, cooking together, movie nights together. Those are small kinds of
just
play. Taking strolls together. Going out together as a family. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be expensive. You don't have to spend money. You could do anything together. Start a family project together, at home, It could be that simple.
It could be that simple.
Yeah.
So, but when you now have a child who is non-verbal, how can that child be brought into the whole play space as a family? So what kind of engagement will such a child enjoy?
Wow. So when a child is nonverbal, it changes, it sort of introduces an interesting dynamic to the whole family thing. And it depends. I would say that the family, depending on the child, you need to have known the child for a while to know some of the things that they want, some of the things that they like, some of the things that they love doing. And I think that for non-verbal children, or for neurodivergent children, one of the key things when it comes to play is that, especially for play and play environments,
Yes.
we don't design it with them in mind. We design for others without thinking of how they can come
they
in.
can
And
come
that's
in
why
with all of their specific
needs, you understand? So the question is, what are the needs of that non-verbal child? How have they been observed to play?
How have they been observed to
what
play?
resonates with them? And how can we use that, and join them to do that thing which they love? So each family needs to know the uniqueness of their child, of the non-verbal child, of what they want to do, or what they love to do, or what resonates with them. So over time, you would have observed them and know how to engage them and connect with them at their own level. And it could be a painting activity. Say the child loves to just pick on paint and just smear it on a blank sheet, and all the family members sit around, everybody with their sheets, and as the child is engaging, everybody is also replicating theirs.
They will love that.
Putting hand in the paints and just just dabbing it on the. That's what the child loves. So that's play for us at the same time. We're joining that child to do what they love. So it could be anything they love to do. Maybe they love to just throw things. Maybe just throw balls. Then everybody joins in the play. You carry balls, we throw in it alongside them, or we throw to them, they throw to us, we throw to them, they throw to us. That's play for them. So it doesn't have to be our kind of play. It can be their kind of play, what they enjoy doing. And what they enjoy doing is play, because that's what play is.
So, but what if if you have a child that is very physical, that loves to run?
Then you run with them.
You run with them every day?
Absolutely.
Every time?
It's hard work, really, right? It's hard work, really. And that's where it gets interesting. You create a schedule with the child. You need to create dedicated time when you give it to that child. You let the child know, I'm available for 10 minutes today. So let's go running.
Let's go running.
So when they are running, you do your best to keep abreast. Make it fun. But give the whole of that time to them. After you're done, then you can go back to other things. So you have shown that I see you. I value you. I am part of your world. I want to do this with you. So if 5 minutes every day is what you have to engage in the child's play, it's worth it. And for some children, they are physical, and for some, they like throwing things. They can go at it for an hour, and you can't keep up. You only need to find the grace to do what you can. It shows them, even if it's 5 minutes, it shows them that they understand me, they resonate with me, and they love what I love. They're part of it. So that's just, for parents, you don't have to spend the whole time with the child. And when you have other things to cope, but you have to dedicate time each day, because you don't have to do once this week and then we don't see you. You come back next week and you do something. Exactly. That's disconnected. It's better you give 5 minutes consistently every day. That will amount to so much for such a child at the end of the day.
So how does this whole play engagement in this way you've described it now, for parents now, how does it change them? What benefit do they get from this?
Well, I like to say for parents, it slows you down.
Okay.
It slows you down. Parents are too serious with life. Parents are too, if you ask parents now, they say, I'm doing it for the children, it's for him, I'm working. But he needs connection to you much more than the money you're bringing. That's just a sad reality. It's not a sad reality, that's just the reality. He needs you more than your money, especially for neurodivergent children and for all children. They need connection to you. You are the best toy that a child will play with. I need to say that again. You as the parent are the best toy that your child has. It's not the variety of play, toys that you bring into the life. And if you go to some home, you have very wonderful and expensive toys. But I tell you, when you are part of that play world with the child, it changes the dynamic. You're the best toy that you ever. 5 minutes every day would create a memory in the life of your child that they will never forget. So the first thing it does for you, for the parent, is it slows you down. It takes you away from your busy schedule to spend some time with your child. It gives you opportunity to create memories that you would never have the opportunity to do if you are so engrossed in your own world. So first, it slows you down, and that's very important. We're so busy, we need to slow down and see our children and also think about our own self. But I also think that playing with our children changes us in unique ways. Beyond slowing us down, it also helps us connect with them in special ways that creates positive memories for us. These children are going to be children only for a short period of time.
Yes.
You have to maximize that time with them. The things you're going to remember by the time that you're 80 is perhaps some of the fond memories you had with your children growing up. So one of the things it's doing for you as a parent is creating positive memories for you to hold on to when you're old and when you're phasing out and it's just them. So that's one thing, another important thing that it's doing. But to go deeper, it's also healing you emotionally. For as the parents, playing with your children is healing you emotionally. It's healing you, deeply, in deeper ways that you cannot even understand. So, because when you slow down your playing, you're also reflecting. Your needs are being met. Your emotional needs are being met. You are healing your inner child too. You are healing, you're unconsciously healing some of the hurts that you grew up with as a child. Because when you play with a child, and most parents are not able to play with their children today because they were not played with.
That's true.
It created a gap and a hurt inside of them. So as you're playing with your child, is healing your own inner child, is restoring balance to you and helping you process your own emotions. That's something is also doing for you. But alongside that is also improving your well-being. Your more positive hormones are being secreted in your body, is improving your well-being and is repairing, alongside healing, is also restoring inner balance for you and improving your well-being as a whole. So I think that those are things that it may not be paying you. It's not material, it's internal. So parents think like, oh, I'm wasting time playing with this. Oh, I have to cook. Oh, I have to go to work. Oh, I have to. But when you slow down and play with your children, it's doing a lot for you, because the same benefits the child is getting, you're also getting in your own, because it's allowing you to process and heal and grow and slow down and build lasting memories with your children.
So this is parents general. Is there anything you add to that benefit specifically for parents of children with learning, intellectual, and developmental disabilities?
Well, I think for parents, I would want to say maybe as a parent, as a child with, learning or developmental disability, nobody has ever said to you, well done. I right now want to say to you, well done. You're doing a very important job. You're doing a great job. And it can be very challenging and very difficult. It takes a whole part of the parents that nobody is talking about.
Exactly.
But as a parent, one other thing I would want to say to parents like this is you need to be part of the healing process for your child. Yeah. Develop your capacity, your ability, and do all that you can to learn what it takes to support the healing and growth and development of your child. That's something that is rewarding in a way that no one can express. Yes. What this means is, as a parent, it will be more beneficial to you if you have a child with learning disability to learn about learning disabilities. Exactly. And empower yourself with the knowledge, with the ability, with the capacity to support the child in a unique way. So that will make a world of difference, not just for your child, but for you. If you have a child with intellectual disability, it will do you good to learn about intellectual disabilities, about the advantages, the strengths that can come out of children with intellectual.
So you are not wallowing so much in the weaknesses.
And I think the point of pain for many parents is they are not equipped to support those children.
Exactly.
And they are waiting for professionals out there
All the
that
time.
will charge a lot of money, and perhaps they are not seeing the progress.
Yes.
But if you as a parent come on board to say, hey, I have a role in this, what can I learn? As the professional is doing, I am also learning. It changes the whole dynamics. It becomes less of pain. It becomes interesting for you to be part of the healing process for a child. So I think that that's an additional benefit for parents, that if they venture into, can change how they see their child, the condition, and how they support their children.
So what you're saying now is that, yes, play therapy is going to do a lot in regulating a child with learning intellectual developmental disability, in helping them improve their development emotionally, physically, or otherwise. But at the same time, for play therapy to be able to get as much impact as it could get, the parents have to understand the conditions of their children.
Absolutely.
So that way, even when you're doing free play or structured play, which can also be a therapy, you understand what you're doing it for.
Exactly.
Because even when you're doing free play, you can have structure within it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, that's correct.
You can have a combination of both, but everything will start from you understanding the condition of your child, the level of the condition, how far improved the child is, what you are targeting, what you feel that the child is becoming good at, and you want to improve on. Because you can't do everything at the same time.
Absolutely.
But you should not also be a parent that cannot do nothing.
That cannot do anything to support.
And if you must do something, you have to know the condition of your child.
Exactly.
So knowledge of the condition is a strong foundation, for therapies like play therapy or even the free play to have impact.
Absolutely.
I mean, because impact from the parent's perspective is you observing changes.
Exactly.
Because even when a child is playing freely, not within structured environment, if you know what is going on with your child, you will still be able to observe improvement.
You see improvement.
Or retrogress. Not only improvement, there could be retrogression.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's so correct. Now there's an aspect of play therapy called TheraPlay. TheraPlay, which allows for the parents to be part of the therapeutic process. Not just the play therapy is doing that. So the parents learns the skills.
Wow.
Is equipped not just with knowledge about the condition, but what can I be doing at home with my child? How can I be structuring their play? How can I be responding to them? What do they need? How can I even know progress or not? So it equips you. So we are working alongside the therapist to support progress. And you would see that for children whose parents are greatly involved, the outcome is so much more. Because the child is not living in an environment where they are alone or isolated.
Yeah, especially emotionally, because our children, they feel it.
They feel it.
They know they're human beings, Most times, like you said earlier on, because we are, in this space of caregiving, we're not just caring for our children with these conditions, we may also be caring for the siblings as well. So because of all of the factors that goes into taking care of a family, we are just constantly thinking about all of these expenses that we have to run.
That's right.
And we forget that these children, they have feelings, that they are human beings with a condition. The entire condition is not the sum of them.
Absolutely.
It's not their entirety.
That's so important.
It's not their entirety. They are just human beings with these conditions. That means that all of the biological processes that goes on within us as human beings, they have it too.
They have it.
It may be slower, sometimes it may be faster, sometimes it may plateau, but it's there.
It's there.
It's there. And you never know what transpires within them, especially as a result of what they are getting from you.
That's right.
Like you said, I think the biggest impact is made on this group of people by their close, by their loved ones.
That's right. You're correct.
So now we've talked about parents, we've talked about the persons with the condition, siblings. You know, it's one thing to have let's say, family playtime, but it's another thing to have siblings actually engaged in play with their sibling who has a specific, condition, especially developmental learning, and in this category.
That's right.
So how can siblings be empowered? To use play. First of all, to know play, play and the benefits that come with it. How play is important to them, then they now using that as a tool to engage with their siblings that need care. How important is that?
Very, very interesting question you're asking, because we can have this conversation and forget that there are siblings.
Exactly.
Because we're talking about the children who have those limitations or specific abilities, and the parents who are directly caring for them. But there's the sibling dynamics.
Siblings.
And a lot can go unnoticed. Sometimes we can be focused on the children that the siblings are excluded from the whole conversation. Sometimes so many siblings of children with, learning disabilities or developmental challenges, they become unseen. They struggle with their own emotional burdens because the attention of parents and everyone is on their siblings, and they are not cared for the way that they need to be cared for. Sometimes the siblings carry so much burden of their sibling who has a specific disability, and that can weigh on those other siblings that are supporting the child who has certain challenge. And on the other hand, the other sibling could struggle with different thoughts. They could have different ideas about why their sibling has this condition.
The perception.
So it's important that balance is created in the family. And it's important for parents to educate other siblings that even their sibling with learning or developmental challenges, they are normal. They are just different.
They're just different. They're normal but different.
They are normal but just different. So that's why when we come to talk about play, we allow play to happen in a community, especially in the family. So that it is all inclusive of the children who have certain disabilities or challenges, together with others who seem to be, functioning differently.
Neurotypical,
Absolutely. So I think that it is important that our parents carry other siblings along, that they understand what is going on in the family, that they are part of, helping their siblings, that they don't carry so much burden alone, whether theirs or for their siblings, so that there is balance and ease. So when that is achieved, then it is so much better for the family. So siblings know how to engage with their brothers or sisters who have certain challenges. They know how to speak to them. They know how to support them. Then they know how to play with them. So when that understanding is there, it becomes shared. It neutralizes the pain or the conflict or that may result as a result of the challenge that the family is facing with having to help or support those with that neurodivergent. But I think that's so key. As for play, the siblings, it just flows. When the ideology of the family is that play is an integral part of our culture, then it flows to the other siblings. They enjoy the engagement. They are intentional about how they play with the neurodivergent, and they are supportive of them, and they are creative in how they create that environment. I have a family that I have worked with where one of the child is neurodivergent and the other is not. And, the parents, the father and mother are so interested, but both of them they are in an inclusive school. And we've observed that the other child is so supportive, looks out for the brother, looks out for, how ensuring that they have their needs met, they get what they want, they get supported, they get helped, and that has really, really improved the dynamics, not just between her and her brother, but also the family dynamics, and they see themselves as one, and they are supportive of each other as they grow. Yeah.
So generally, how would play help a boy child, be it neurotypically developing boy child or a child with, I think, mostly mild and moderate now, in terms of the severity of learning intellectual developmental disability? How would play help in their ability to communicate, to communicate and reflect in a way that they are able to self-regulate themselves emotionally?
So for boys like that, it's very important, because boys have to have a way of keeping their emotions, struggling with their emotions, and not know how to communicate their emotions. So boy will often struggle with anger, with outbursts, with deviant behavior, and all sort of fallout. But for children with learning and developmental challenge, that is an additional burden for boys to deal with, because they begin to see themselves as handicapped. They see themselves as weak. They see themselves as, I cannot help myself. Oh, I'm not boy enough. I'm not a man. And they struggle with a lot of emotional. But play, even in the context of play therapy, helps the boys to express and process that emotion, whether that hidden emotion that they may be struggling with. It gives them an avenue to express it out, whether via drawing, painting, or just processing in one way or the other. It could be in different sensory ways. It could be verbal, it could be non-verbal, but play allows such children, boys, to be able to process the burden of having that disability. But beyond that, it also empowers them and improves their self-esteem. Play allows the children, it works on their emotional health, but also their self-esteem and their self-worth, so that they see themselves in new light. That in turn helps with the emotional burden of having to have that certain condition. So play allows children to build their self-esteem, positive self-worth, self-image. They see themselves in new light, and so they know that they are also special, even though they may not be able to do certain things that other children or boys do, because that's one of the key points for boys, especially when they have certain conditions that limit them. They have to deal with self-esteem issues, negative self-thoughts, negative self-belief, and all of that. So I think that that's one critical thing that it does for boys. And play also gives them new ways to learn to cope. And
so they have something to direct.
Yes,
kind of like something to direct that emotion into.
Yeah, absolutely. It helps. They are able to channel that emotions in certain ways. And for boys, alongside this that you mentioned, is in play they learn other skills, abilities that they have.
Okay.
Then they are able to channel their energies in those ways. Because one of the key points of difficulty is they have to be in school with other boys.
Yes.
And they have to do math or things that other boys have to do, and they are not able to do it. They struggle. But during play, play uncovers certain skills and gifts and abilities that they have, or unique things they can do. So they are able to do that and then channel their creativity and ability into that. So that gives them a new sense of identity. Even though I cannot solve, mathematics, but I can.
I'm good in this other thing I just noticed. Yeah.
Or I'm good in drawing, or I'm good in just some other creative expression. That gives a new sense of identity for boys, especially those who are struggling with
those who are struggling, which means now that from this conversation now, for play, just like any other form of tools that can be therapeutic, for play to be extremely beneficial, it has to have kind of like everybody coming on board.
Yes.
So like you mentioned the school now, the school will have to have the awareness of allowing the child to explore, you know, and not restricting the child to just their weaknesses.
That's right.
Helping them to use their strength that they've discovered, you know, through their own exploration via play, allow them to build on that. Then the family, to whatever it is that they are observing, they bring it to the school, and the school, they have to be open-minded to work with that. So play now, from everything we've been saying, especially in the therapy setting, like you said, that whatever skills that they get, even if it is within a therapy structure, is transferable. So life. Play as a medium, it's when you are working on specific goals within this structure. These boys, they have the choice to pick which tool to play with. They have, or is it the therapist that would make the choice for them?
Very important
or
question.
They are allowed to, you know, freely pick whatever play object they want to engage with as a means of, you know, the therapeutic.
Yeah, so that both has its advantages. So it's sort of like directive and non-directive.
Okay, directive and non-directive.
If, for instance, especially for children with learning and, you know, disabilities and development, for the parent, if you're well trained as a parent, or whether in the therapeutic settings, you have certain goals you want them to achieve. You can structure the play. You can use certain play, you know, techniques, you know, guided and direct the children to accomplish that. But even within the child-centered play, which is sort of like free play, within the context of therapy, the child explores and finds themselves. Finds what resonates with them. So as a therapist, you're observing, you're learning what is resonating with the child. And that can inform how you are guiding and directing their play to help them. So it just depends. If it's a therapist, it depends on your orientation. Are you being directive or non-directive? But as a parent, you can even do both. You can begin by exploring, but you can also use certain play techniques, certain tools, certain available toys to, you know, guide the child to achieve certain milestones, certain goals that you are working in. And maybe for a week or 2 weeks, you may have just one goal.
It's okay.
Then you can direct the play to keep going towards that goal to be able to achieve that. But whatever approach it works, really, it just depends on what you want to achieve with the child in the long run.
So at the end of the day, play is a very vital tool. With all of these approaches, there is a huge opportunity for the boy child, whether a child with learning intellectual developmental disability or not, to be able to have an optimized mental health state.
That's right.
Because they are constantly in a space where they are allowed to be happy, to explore their feelings, to be able to communicate their feelings freely. Depending on the medium they are choosing, and it's acceptable within that space.
It is.
That it's okay for them to explore. Wow.
Absolutely.
This has been an amazing conversation, a very deep dive into play and how play is very important in growth for the boy child, whether or not they have learning intellectual developmental disabilities, because like you said, the boy child is heavily burdened with expectation, especially emotional expectation, and most times it allows them to grow all the way into very, very confused men in terms of what to do and what to do with their emotions, you know, and how to respond to them. Thank you so much, Mr. Philip Dimka.
It's an honor.
It's been an amazing conversation.
Yes, thank you.
Filled with a lot to learn, a lot to apply. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope we continue to have conversations in other areas because I look forward to learn a lot too. So Our listeners, I hope that you gain a lot from this conversation. It's very eye-opening. And please do not forget to share this video. Do not forget to like them. This and all others that have come before them, subscribe to the platform. And please leave your questions in the comment section. We would respond to them. It's very important to us that you send us questions. That way we know that you are actually engaging the videos and that we are making a difference in somebody's life. Thank you so much. We'll see you again on the next episode. Take care of yourself.